Making this video to show you just a quick and easy way to take some of your old PDFs that you probably have all over from previous textbooks, different classroom projects, and how to use them in Google Classroom, especially now that we're doing so much online. So here I've got a PDF that is a worksheet that I might do with my students on energy flow and biological systems. It's got 3 pages, but if I give it out to my students, there's nothing they can do with it. They can't write on a PDF, they can't send it back to me. So let's see how I would do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert the PDF into JPEG pictures. Then I'm going to put the JPEG pictures into a Google slide presentation that they can write on. So let's see how that would work. First of all, just go online and do a search on how to convert a PDF to JPEG, and you'll find multiple sites willing to do it for you. Okay. This that I just used earlier, I actually use one that it's a Microsoft one called Any PDF to JPEG, but this will work just fine for my purposes today. So I'll open this up, find whatever site you find is best for you. So I click on choose a PDF here, and there it is, chapter 3, the biosphere. I'm going to open that. Okay, determine what JPEG quality I want. 150 is probably good enough with illustrations and stuff. So at this point, I'll click on convert the PDF to JPEG. And it doesn't take very long. They're not very big files. So here's my pages, page 1, 2, and 3. They come out as separate pictures. So I'm going to download page 1, download page 2, download page 3, and check and see where they are. They're in my download folder. Okay. Now I'm going to go to my Google Drive. And somewhere in my Google Drive, wherever is convenient for me, this is chapter 3 out in my biology classroom, so I'll go ahead and put it there. Here's biology, chapters, chapter 3. And I will create an empty Google slide. So go to new up here, I guess. Go to Google Slides. And I'm going to create one. Okay. Now in my Google slide, I'm going to go to File, down to Page Setup. Well, none of these are really useful for me. They're all some type of landscape. I want this portrait mode, like a sheet of paper. So I'm going to go to Custom and just type in 8.5 by 10 inches. That's good enough. And I don't need any of these boxes here, so I'm going to delete them. Then I'm just going to duplicate this a couple times for my 3 pages. Okay, so I'll title this I think it was just energy flow. I may put a different name on it later. And at this point, I want to make it a background. Now I could just put it in as an image, but if I do that, the kids are going to be clicking on it. It's going to be confusing to them. So I'm going to put it in as a background. So I go to change background, choose image, and I can either browse or drag the file here, either one. I'll do the drag. That's actually quite a bit easier in my opinion. So go ahead and bring this back up again. So here is page 1. And it pops itself right in. Go to page 2. Now I could have, and I probably would have, taken these, edited them a little bit more with paint or something, but that's not what specifically what I'm doing right now is editing them, so I'm not going to go over that process. So I'm going to put page 2 here. Done. Go down to this one. and change the background. Choose image. Page 3. Okay, now when I assign this, I can take this document that I've created, I can send it out to my students, even sending it where a copy is sent to each student. And then when they get it, usually what I have them do, they can go ahead and zoom in. And now when they're answering these things, it's easy enough. They just make a text box. And I typically have them make the color red and bold because then it's easier for me to see. And class, this might be, let's say, a little annoying that you have to go back and change red and bold every single time if you're going to do red and bold. But to me, it makes it much easier for me to read. And then date and so forth. And when they turn it in to me, it will all be there, ready for me to see. It can be saved, it can be used, it can be reused. Anyway, this is the way I take my older PDF worksheets and use them very effectively. I've had a lot of good use with this in Google Classroom while we're doing online learning in particular.